Hey there! You see this guy walking through the airport? Flip-flops, beat-up backpack, baseball cap, flying economy. Looks like a broke college student, right? But here's the twist. This guy owns 3 companies, has millions in the bank, and a lot more assets you don't see. And yet he chooses to look like he's on a tight budget. Why? It's not because he can't afford better. It's because looking poor on purpose is part of the strategy. In this video, we're breaking down why the rich pretend to be poor, the rise of quiet luxury, the camouflage behind it, the trap of the Diderot Effect, and most importantly, why this mindset might actually work for you too. So let's get started. Section 1. Why the rich pretend to be poor. When most people imagine being rich, they picture Lambos, yachts, designer suits, golden watches, and big gold chains with dollar signs, like a stereotypical rapper. And sure, plenty of celebrities do dress like that. And yes, they are rich. But if you look again, many of the richest people in the world actually dress quite differently. Take Warren Buffett, the legendary investor worth around $150 billion. He still lives in the same house he bought in the 1950s, and until 2020, he was still using an old $20 Nokia flip phone before finally switching to an iPhone. Or Mark Zuckerberg, who wore the same gray t-shirt every day for years. Lately, he switched to a black one, but the idea is still the same. Or Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA, who flew economy and drove a 20-year-old Volvo. These billionaires aren't poor, but they definitely don't dress rich. So why? Because they're playing defense. For wealthy people, staying low-key can protect them from lawsuits, scammers, and even kidnapping threats. It also helps them avoid extra attention from regulators, tax agencies, or tabloids. For ultra-famous billionaires like Buffett or Zuckerberg, everyone already knows who they are. But by keeping their image simple, they avoid becoming even bigger targets for criticism, envy, or unnecessary drama. Notice how flashy wealth makes people talk about the Kardashians, not these billionaires. And most of all, it gives them peace. When you flaunt your money, people will start watching you, following you, asking questions, or trying to take something from you. But when you stay low-key and blend in, you don't just protect your money, you protect your privacy and freedom. Section 2. Quiet luxury versus loud broke. Some rich people stay under the radar on purpose. They avoid flashy cars, gold chains, or giant designer logos. They wear plain clothes, drive regular cars, and keep a low profile. This strategy is called stealth wealth. Instead of showing off with brands like Gucci or Balenciaga, they wear ultra-expensive labels you've probably never heard of, like Loro Piana or Brunello Cucinelli. These are high-end luxury brands, but they don't scream for attention, and that's exactly the point. Most people use expensive things to signal status. They want to show that they've made it, that they're successful, respected, or important. That's why logos are big and recognizable, so others can see and admire them. But wealthy people don't need that kind of recognition. They already know they're rich, and they don't feel the need to prove it to anyone. They still buy luxury goods, but not for attention. They buy it for comfort, quality, or personal taste. And the most important part is, they can afford it. Meanwhile, a lot of people who look rich actually aren't. Studies show the biggest spenders on luxury brands are usually middle class, not upper class. Why? Because they're still trying to climb the ladder. They're afraid of being ignored or underestimated. They want to be taken seriously, so they use expensive items to send a signal. But that signal comes with a price. They lease luxury cars to impress coworkers, buy expensive bags to fit in, and max out credit cards just to look like they've made it. That's what people call loud broke. Your outfit screams money, but your bank account says otherwise. Section 3. The camouflage. Looking poor works because it acts like a camouflage. When you don't show off your wealth, people don't treat you like a target. In negotiations, if you show up wearing a Rolex and designer suit, the other person assumes you can afford more and raises the price. If you post your wealth on social media, you attract fake friends, opportunists, or even lawsuits. And as you know, rich people are also a common target of crime. In 2016, Kim Kardashian was robbed at gunpoint in a Paris hotel after posting photos of her jewelry. In 2020, Pop Smoke showed his gifted bag and accidentally revealed his address on Instagram. That night, he was shot dead in his home. And these are the last things you want to happen if you're rich. In many countries, flashing wealth can bring government attention, especially tax investigations. So, tax auditors love to go after those who brag the loudest. And rich people hate taxes. Yeah, I mean really hate taxes, as I've already made 2 whole videos on how the rich avoid taxes. Link in the description. But camouflage isn't just about avoiding bills. It's also about freedom. You might think everyone wants to be rich and famous, but many celebrities say the worst part of fame is losing your privacy. One of the most famous examples is the king of pop, Michael Jackson. In 2003, he rented out an entire supermarket in Florida just so he could feel what it was like to shop like a normal person again. The store was closed to the public for hours, and Jackson even paid his staff and friends to act like regular shoppers, pushing carts and picking items off shelves around him. He just wanted to feel normal, and he wasn't alone. Celebrities like Lady Gaga, Zayn Malik, Daniel Radcliffe, and Billie Eilish have all said that they kind of regret parts of fame and wish they could live more ordinary lives. Being famous and rich can turn life into a golden cage. You're rich, but you can't go anywhere. You have no freedom. That's why many of today's wealthy people choose to stay invisible. They're still in the golden cage, but they can come and go when they want, as nobody recognizes them. Section 4. The Diderot Effect. Let's say you finally buy something nice. Maybe you upgrade your phone, or get a high-end bag or jacket. At first, it feels like a treat. But then your other stuff starts to look out of place. Your new jacket doesn't match the old shoes. Your new phone doesn't match your cheap old earphones. That's when it starts. You feel the urge to upgrade more things, not because they're broken, but because you want everything to feel perfect. This is called the Diderot Effect. One upgrade leads to another and another until you've changed your whole lifestyle without realizing it. And this isn't just an internet theory. It's based on a real story. In the 1700s, a French philosopher named Denis Diderot received a gift, a beautiful red robe. But after wearing it, he noticed that the rest of his belongings looked too cheap. So he began replacing his old chair, his table, and more just to match the robe. He ended up spending way more just because of one free robe. That's how the Diderot Effect got its name. But here's where it gets dangerous. Once you start living at a higher level, it quickly becomes your new normal. For example, maybe you used to set a $10 limit on eating outside. Then one day, let's say you get a bonus from your boss and treat yourself to a $30 meal as a treat. Well, it's not wrong if you do it once or twice, but if you're not careful, your brain will adjust. Now, a $30 meal doesn't feel like a luxury anymore. It feels normal. Suddenly, even a $20 meal feels cheap. This is how lifestyle inflation happens. And that's when you get stuck on what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. You keep spending more, expecting more, but the happiness never lasts. That's why many wealthy people avoid this trap completely. Because while poor people often buy luxuries to impress others, the rich would rather buy freedom. Section 5. Why you should do this too. Well, of course, you don't have to be a billionaire to use this strategy. Pretending to be poor or just choosing not to show off can still work in your favor, even if you're just starting to build wealth. When you keep a low profile, people don't expect much from you. And being underestimated can actually be a hidden advantage. People won't raise the price easily in negotiations. It protects you from scammers or fake friends who only care about your money, not about you. Or you know that one friend who always borrows money and never returns it? If you look poor, nobody's going to ask you. And most importantly, it gives you peace. Instead of throwing a grand party to show off your success, wouldn't it be better to just quietly live your best life with the people who matter? You could even use that money to invest instead. That way, your wealth keeps growing quietly in the background. If you want a simple, professional investing app where you can start small and learn as you go, check out today's sponsor, Moomoo. If you're a US resident, you can trade US stocks with zero commission. And even if you're not in the US, Moomoo still offers some of the lowest fees around. It's regulated in places like the US, Singapore, Japan, Canada, Malaysia, and Australia, and backed by a NASDAQ-listed company called Futu Holdings. So you can click the link in the description to get up to 60 free stocks when you deposit, plus 8.1% interest on unused cash for your first 3 months. It's a limited time offer, and even if you're starting small, it's a smart way to grow quietly. So, in conclusion, next time you see a guy in sandals who looks broke, look again. He might not be poor, he might just be smart. Because in a world where everyone's showing off, looking simple is the real win. It gives you peace, safety, and freedom. And maybe, just maybe, it could work for you too. Help us keep making videos like this by becoming a member and unlock some exclusive perks too. If you want me to make other videos explaining these topics, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.